YouTube world? My name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Okay, so I have a couple of things to talk about before we get into the main thing of this video. So, like I said, why are you posting a video on Monday? I know what you're thinking. That's a bunch of thoughts out there if you're watching this. Well, technically I'm on spring break, so if you want to go find all about that, just go watch my Harry Potter review that I did before this video. Also, this will be my last video of the week that I'll be posting with this background. Like, this is a real background. This is my room. But when I do my Falcon and Winter Soldier review later this week, it's gonna be different. And plus, I'm not gonna be making any videos that much this week because I'll be in Disney World. But next week, you'll have a lot more videos. You'll have like 8 videos. But yeah. But now let's get into the main reason of what's this video about. So, I believe May 21st, we will be getting the next Saw film, Spiral. And I thought to prepare for that, I thought I would watch all of the Saw films leading up to it. Now, I'll try to because I looked at my schedule for next week. I don't really think I'll be seeing any of the Saw films next week. But I did see the first one, so let's talk about it right now, shall we? Now for me, I think that the best thing about this movie is that, as this is a horror film, it has an interesting narrative. It kind of does what a horror film is supposed to do, because it literally opens with no context. That scene where it has these two guys locked up in this room, chained to like a pipe, and it gives you no context of why they're there. Like, that type of thing is like the example of how to do a really good horror film and sets up the horror vibe to it. But like I didn't really like that at first, but now I do. And also I thought the way they told like the story in this movie, it felt like a lot like Memento to me. Because so if you don't know how Memento tells its story, it basically tells its story by basically going backwards. Like it would be on the day that the movie takes place, but then it would go backwards to like a couple hours later, and it would tell you how this scene happened and why is everything there. This film kind of does that, but in a different sense. And I kind of like that a little bit. Now, granted, it does tell that, like, pretty generic story, like, when it goes to the flashback about this guy that tortures this girl with this, like, big machine on her head. It kind of does mostly the generic horror stuff that you would see in a horror film like this. But once a character says something, it kind of sets up the next plot line. And it does it in a very good job like that. Also, as this is a very violent movie, there's a lot of scenes in this movie where I'm like, oh my god, this is graphic, this is terrifying to watch, and like, oh my, like it's like you feel uncomfortable when it happens. And also, I have to say this, as that man that had his family, there were times where I actually wanted to cry. I actually did get teary-eyed when I watched it towards the end, and he was just crying. And, like, you feel the emotions of the characters, and it's amazing of how this stuff works. And I also like how it kinda mixed in with some action vibes, I guess. When you have the cop and the guy chasing after each other, you can kind of call it an action film / a horror film, but yeah, so I like that stuff. But now let's move on to the bad. Now, when we move on to the bad, like I said, it's pretty generic. It kind of tells a pretty generic story a little bit. with the backstory. And I don't really see this as like a fantastic movie. And also, I didn't really think the ending really satisfied me all that much. I felt like it wasn't an ending that, like, it literally closes with a guy turning off the lights and a guy screaming, and that doesn't make sense. I mean, it's cool because it sets up the next one, but it just doesn't make sense of how it ends like that. It doesn't make sense. So I don't really have many issues with the movie, and I also don't really think it's like the best horror film of all time. But yeah, so it's good. It's a really good movie. It's not like top tier horror film for me. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on Saw, the first one. Let me know what you guys thought down below for the first Saw. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you right there in between? Are you guys going to be watching it this weekend leading up to Spiral? With that said, let's get started with those scores. Alright, so that is it for my Saw review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram name is Marvel6 and my TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my About section to go follow me on those social medias. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.